Hey, welcome back to V-Rule. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I know I'm asking super early in the video, but I just want to get to the point of why. I want to give this away. Glaring Articuno Tin to one lucky winner, 2 3-pack blisters from Stellar Crown, and a Pokemon Mystery Prize. I've been trying to drop hints. I don't know if they're coming across. It doesn't matter, really, but there's a 4th prize out there for somebody, and I'm really excited to give all these things away. All you got to do is like, comment, and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Also, to be entered, specifically, go over here to this one right here. That's the one you want to leave a comment on. That's where I'll be pulling the winners from. Today, we are looking at different sets. It's Wednesday, so I do a Wednesday walkthrough of sets, and we end up looking at sets as we go. Let's move it over to Pokelector here. So I've already gone through Twilight Masquerade, Temporal Forces, Paldean Fates. Next would be Paradox Rift, but Shrouded Fable was released, so we're going to actually make the jump up ahead here in Shrouded Fable. So I said I would do this, that as sets come out, I'll go to those and then work our way through the list of trying to make sure we can get all of them. So the weeks that we're not having sets released, I can be getting through a bunch of them for you, but also the weeks we have them, we can make it a priority. So Shrouded Fable, we are just going to be critiquing artwork. I'm not going to look at the commons, uncommons. I'm not going to be looking at the rares or the double rares. I'm not looking at those EX cards. I'm not even looking at A-Spec cards in this one. We're just going for that pretty shine from there to the end, and we have our little list built up over here. So this is all subjective, and I'm going to determine, from my perspective, my opinion. Usually I'd like to put into consideration the value of the cards, but it's so early on that that's probably not the best thing to base this off of in any way. So we're going to take it for the artwork itself, true artwork, where I think that one is going to be one of the more timeless pieces of the set. Still art, where it's beautiful, it's worth having. If you want it just for the sake of the card and how it looks, I would think that's a good way to put it there. Neutral, where it's take it or leave it. Not really making a big stink about it or having a big thing about it. There's quite a few where I'm going to say it's neutral, I don't really care. And then not going to last. This one, for this pool, I don't think is going to be a very big sampling from that. So actually, let's take this a little bit different. Let's go through the gold cards first. That's going to be a little bit easier because they are a little bit more simple in how they work. I will tell you straight up that these are going to be items and trainers and whatever else. Like, these are to help you in your deck. You do have one Pokemon here, but it's such a simple artwork that it's not really doing anything for me. You're really interested in the fact that it's hyper rare, 1, and 2, it's that gold look, and some people like it, other people don't, and I really am surprised that gold doesn't really take off as much as I thought it would have when it was first introduced. But then the playability comes in, and that's really where you end up seeing the prices spike. So for playability factor, that's where gold tends to shine, no pun intended, but it totally intended, I guess. And then we've been seeing releases of energies from set to set just to be able to go on through and complete them all. So let's go through this pretty quick. Not gonna last. I don't think this, as far as artwork, it's not gonna be anything. I'm neutral about this one. The only thing bringing that in is playability, and actually I like the energy cards as gold. It's taking something so simple like an energy card and just putting it to another level. We have seen a redesign coming in here as far as the reverse hollow energies that they're doing or something, and the reverse hollow pattern. So I'm actually going to put these as still art, because that in itself, if you just wanted to collect the gold energies, would be a nice little collection to have from across a multitude of sets. So I'm going to put that in the still art area right there. Now we can move over to not the special illustration rares. We want to save the best for last, right? Or are they the best? I don't know. Let's see what we go. Full arts here. Full arts. Right here. Boom. We can see that Reverum EX. Reverum, not that popular. Price is showing it. The artwork, not really doing much. These shiny full arts, kind of dull. Kind of boring. All right, so we're just gonna ditch that one and say it's not gonna last. We're not happy about that. And anyways, I really like the color scheme going on with these things, and that's why all of these are going to be put into that still art. Specifically, I have the Okie Dokie. Is that what we got? Is that what it's called? Okie Dogie. Sorry, not super familiar with all these. And my gosh, who are you? Monkey Dory. That I really like the color schemes there. Kingdra, probably because it's a little bit further throwback, and that helps a little bit, but I like the simplicity of that blue and white background there. It's got a lot of action. the pheasantipity isn't really doing it for me on this one. Just that swirl, that's cool and everything, but well, no, not really doing it for me. And then same with the Peachurent. I'm not feeling that one either too much. I'm kind of just neutral is all. Not saying that they're bad. As far as the full art trainers, I really like this one. Just that really heavy red here. The glove is cyan in photography. So in imagery, it's different. Okay, I don't want to get too crazy on this. In paint, opposites are different than in light, where you'd have photography. Okay, so you have red and green as opposites when dealing with paint mediums. If you use light or photography as a medium, you have red and cyan as complementary colors there that would neutralize one another. So that's what speaks here, is you have that bluish, that cyan coming in to the skin tones and on the glove here, and then you have this reddish orange coming out here across the color scheme. So that's very common to see, kind of a blue and then orange in like cinema. So it's a very interesting and easy complementary color. So I think that's why my eye is drawn to it. But for this one, I'm going to put that in a little bit higher spot of still art. I like the Cassiopeia as still art. I mean, we got a hint of Eevee just chilling over here, so that's kind of cool. For the others, I'm thinking just neutral. All right, so there are a couple that make it to the still art for me, but the remainder are just going to be neutral. Not saying that I don't like them, you know. It's just kind of like this set really is lending itself well. Just from a snapshot here, to me, illustration rare versus special illustration rare. I know they're tiny. It's just little thumbnails at best. It kind of speaks to me in a way of saying that the illustration rare is a much better artwork than the special illustration rare, just overall. So let's look at that. Let's look at the special illustration rare. Sadly, these all fall in the exact same category for me. I don't want to end up, you know, ticking anybody off, but at best, I'm neutral on them. It's the rarity type. They are filling the entire frame nicely. The color scheme is pretty good on these three. Not so much here, but they all fall short. They just all fall short. The Cassiopeia, there's a reason it's the chase. It's the reason it's the highest price. There's a reason this is the number one. There's a lot of layers, a lot of different things coming on. You have the two sides color scheme coming in. Again, that cyan, that red, the blue and orange, that kind of feel, really dramatic. And all the different graphics around here. It's definitely a much more striking image, straight on, centered, a lot of symmetry. There's a lot going there. So the Cassiopeia is just kind of looking to be one of the better ones. That's a little larger for you. And then you have the Sylveon in the background there, you know, just working at the computer, having these energy drinks or whatever. Like, just, we're all a little familiar with that feeling, right? So I think the Cassiopeia stands out as some sort of true art. We can get into this now. We can really dive in, because these are really the ones that are the artworks of the set. I'm going to go a little bit backwards and say, for those that really don't hit it at all for me, the Beware. I like the angle. This underlighting gives that more horror look or really dominant feel. That's fine, but it's just not doing anything for me. You got the sun behind, a little taste of the sky there. It's like, okay, take it or leave it. It may as well be a full art. I'm going to say it's not going to last. Sorry, I know some people are like going to be mad about that, because there's others that are lower priced now. But I'm going to think that Beware is not going to last. The Tapu Bulu, same kind of thing. We're really simple on the artwork. It looks chaotic. It's in a jungle here, but it's just a very simple premise for the setup. And the styling of the artwork, I just don't think is up to speed with a lot of the other ones in the set. I'm going to say not going to last there either. Okay, now I think we're away from the not going to last, because everything's just getting a little bit tighter, a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. And we can go into the neutral ones, all right? There are a few, I know it's going to tick people off, but I have a few that I think are kind of neutral here. That's going to be our Cresselia. Big game changer there. I think a lot of people are pulling this as their chase and really excited about it. It is beautiful, but I'm pretty indifferent about it because of the palette is simple, soft, similar. For a set that's really emphasizing the dramatic and this high contrast, and these complementary colors, this one feels off. It's not filling that for me as much as some of the other ones. So I'm going to go Cresselia as a neutral. I'm going to put Horsey as a neutral. Love Horsey. Who wouldn't love Horsey? But I'm putting Horsey in a neutral. Again, I think we're just kind of in this a little bit bland feel there for the coloring, which is odd to say, right? Because Kingdra as a full art, I said, is still art. It's just so prominent of the Pokemon. Really good lines. It's simple and clean, and for the full arts, that looks good to me. Whereas the illustration of Horsey, I'm like, it's fine, but I'm indifferent, so it's okay. So I did have a couple that I thought were in this class. There's one that I'm like on the fence about, and that's going to be the Pheasantipity. And I know, there's actually a lot of action. There's a lot going on here. I think because we have this really dramatic pillar here, the water underneath, the scenery down here, and then climbing up, this light behind, I think that there's enough there to elevate it for me. At a glance, just seeing it in a smaller thing, it's got a little bit of a similar tones start to finish, so it could be in that neutral range, but I'm going to go still art over here. I think that's made the cut for still art. Right. I'm not even going to do it. I'll just butcher it. So right here, we're going at still art. Zorora, we're going at still art. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm about to ruffle some feathers. Houndoom, I'm going with still art. I'm not going to say it's timeless. I know. I'm sorry. Don't be upset with me. That's not where I'm at. We're at still art, not neutral. Zorora's going up there, and yes, that Houndoom. Here's why. Let's break it down a little bit better here. I'm a sucker for black and white. I love it. All right, nothing wrong with that. This is black and white-ish, and then you have the little pop of red. Okay, I'm sorry, but in the world of photography, on the advent of digital coming out, pretty deep into the masses around 2005, that was a big one. Oh, everything's black and white except for this one color, this pop of flowers, except for this one color, her dress or whatever. Like, just okay. It was cool at the time. It's a little cheesy now. It really is. I'm sorry, it is. I would have much rather seen this as all black and white, and then for these red spots here being an intense highlight. So this would be a little bit more on the grayish, and there'd be a really intense white to bring your eye right there. Okay, because your eyes are attracted to highlights. So at least it can be distracting. It can be helpful. It can lead you through the frame. I like the concept. It is cool. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just don't think it tips it over to the edge into saying that it is a timeless piece of artwork as far as this set is concerned. You may disagree with me, but when you start looking at what's remaining, there's a lot here to say there's a little bit of an elevated feel here. Now, we are kind of cheating a little bit, because I would say that the Duskull, the Dusknoir, and the Dusclops are going to be putting you in a position of maybe still art, okay? Not the highest, but the fact that they all have a similar feel, they work in tandem, they are an evolutionary line, it's all coming out in one set, I love that, and it's working together. I'm kind of stuck, just like you are, viewing it as a set of 3. It's hard not to. You have 68 out of 64, 69, and 70. They're going to be in a row. You're going to see that in a binder, the way it goes through the set. They go together, and that's purposeful. So because of that, they all work together as one in my mind. And when you have them lined up like that, it really does work. That you have that evolutionary line, the same art feel. I think this is a true artwork, and it's got to be the series. Outside of that, if you go individual, I think you could be going into the still art, and maybe even even on the Dusknoir, specifically the Dusknoir, you could put it into that neutral category. The rest look very obvious to me. I mean, at a glance, we almost have Magikarp feel on some of these, right? So that Monkey Dory, we have just this beautiful palette, wonderful scene here, a lot of depth to it. There's a lot happening in the image. And then the Pokemon, bold, highlighted, nice contrasting colors, fitting with the whole style of the set. That Monkey Dory hits hard as being a true artwork to me. The Okidogi, could care less about this Pokemon. It does not do it for me for whatever reason. I'm like, I don't like that one that much. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The artwork is phenomenal. It's crazy. There's all these brush strokes. It's very chunky. If this were a painting, it'd be very chunky medium that you'd be able to almost feel the texture. This is not going to be a textured card, but you can visually see a texture start to finish. He's plowing through the scene, just ripping it apart. This is the Pokemon that's going to be turning into the Hulk soon. I mean, it doesn't help that there's green, right? But this is it, okay? So this one is hitting hard as an artwork as well. It looks great in doing so. We do have a few others, right? It was a Q-Fant and Persian left on there. Let's take a look at the Q-Fant because the Persian is the chase of these, I guess, right? Love the rainbow, the little spray. That spray is emphasizing that you'd see a rainbow. It's very symmetrical. We got a great reflection here. Simple in its form of how it was conducted for the artwork with these little swatches of color. They're very rounded. It's like if you're familiar with Photoshop at all, it looks like a very digital brush stroke. Very simple, but you put it all together and it's got a great feel there. The little sprouts here happening, nice depth. You have the yellow and the blue. Again, in photography, yellow and blue are complementary. If you're going to do it in painting, it's blue and orange. Okay, it's yellow and purple. It's going to be a little bit different, but in photography, and that's where my mind goes with my background, this just screams obvious, simple, easy, contrasting colors, and it's layered. You blue, yellow, and it's got nice depth there. And these become a little bit less defined versions of the Pokemon as it goes further back. Not that they're blurry or bokeh out of focus in the background there, but they become less defined, which gives a little bit more depth to it. And then you have this great little centerpiece of Q-Fant. I love this one. So I don't know if it's my favorite, but I definitely love that one. Persian, I think once everybody saw this, they felt this is the chase of the set, and it was very obvious that the entire Pokemon, the way we see it, is only through the reflection. It gives you such depth, such scenery, and I believe this one couples with the Giovanni's Charisma special illustration there from Pokemon 151. So Pokemon did a great job on these, and these are all going to be going into that true artwork. And actually, I'm surprised that the true artwork held up as much as it did because of how many people, including myself included, rather, how do you speak? I don't know. The fact that we were all ready to pass on this set pretty quickly, but I think there's enough artwork here to appreciate it. There's enough in the still art category that looks nice, but also it's not an overwhelmingly huge set that you don't think it's obtainable. It could be obtainable. I would love to see that Cassiopeia. We'll see. I'm going to open a little, but I'm not going to go crazy, and it's really going to be for the fun of it, but I'm going to be buying singles. That's the way to go for me, as far as I can tell here. Cassiopeia is sitting at just over $100 still. It's really new. It's really new. I don't think it should reach and stay at $100. I really see this one as more of a $60 to $75 card when it's all said and done, but we'll have to see. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think of this? It's an interesting take. I like doing this weekly on Wednesdays and going through the sets and speaking to it in different ways, considering the price, the playability, but most of all the artwork, given my background and what I can contribute to that. But it's just a fun way to dissect the cards as a whole, rather than only focusing on the market prices, which is my main focus, I guess, these days. So it's nice to take a break and then get a little bit more in my wheelhouse and show some passion. For you, I want you to be passionate about this. This is your chance to win the Glaring Articuno tin from Crown Zenith, 2 of the 3-pack blisters from Stellar Crown, and we have a Pokemon Mystery Prize going to a 4th winner overall. All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. You know what to do. Like it out, share it out as you're liking it. If you like it, maybe somebody you know will also. Go over here to this video. That's where you want to leave a comment for your chance to win. That's where I'm pulling the winners from. In there I'll be using a random YouTube comment picker, but that's the best way to go. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.